Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. You can interact with us on our social media at Faraja TV Kenya. So in the studio, I have a guest, Glenn Oreni, a student in the University of Nairobi. Glenn, how has it been, your academic journey, of course, starting from UNEM?
Okay, my name is Glenn Oreni. I am an alumni of the Nairobi School. I'm currently undertaking Bachelor of Arts in Urban and Regional Planning in the University of Nairobi as a first-year student.
Maybe if you can take us through your academic journey, how has it been to navigate through the academic journey?
So I started my school in preschool for 3 years in Nakuru Elite Education Center. Afterwards, I stayed in primary school till grade 6. Afterwards, I joined Kabarak, where I did my KCPE and managed to get a mark of 414, which enabled me to go to Nairobi School, which was my dream school. In high school, I was able to cope up well, though there were some few challenges, and I managed to finish well with a grade of B+, which enabled me to go to University of Nairobi to pursue the course that I'm doing currently.
That is very, very good. So how does it feel to be in university?
It is quite well. There's some few challenges. Yeah, and I didn't expect to do the course I'm doing right now, but I'm able to cope up with it. Yeah.
So from your story, you had seems you had a smooth education, or were there some challenges that really came your way, regardless of you getting those good grades that enabled you to go to University of Nairobi?
Yeah, there were some challenges. First of all, when I joined high school, I expected it to be a smooth run. I tend to relax, influence me in a negative way. Yeah. So they would tell you you'd miss classes, you'd have a negative attitude towards the teachers. Yeah. So it really cost me even in the first exams that I did. Yeah. So, and I didn't have the concentration that I had back in primary school. I tend to mess up everything, and it cost me. Yeah.
So, how did you feel? Because from Kabarak, bright student, 414 marks, right?
Yes.
Getting to Nairobi School, things are going south.
Yes.
How did you feel?
Okay, for the first exam that I did, I got a C+, which I didn't expect it because I had that expectation that siwezi kuwa mwisho even if I failed in whatever way. So when I got the first results, I was shocked. Even though I got the first result, I tend to relax still, which cost me the second and third exams. Yes.
Wow. So now, in the midst of that downward trend, what did you do? Did you sit back and watch yourself go that direction? Because failure seems inevitable at the end of the day. So what did you do? How did you come out of the challenges? How did you navigate? And how did you maintain that state of mind that I'm going to make it?
First of all, due to the results that I got every so often, I didn't realize it. So my dad had a friend who knew of a certain institution, tuition. So that friend had a daughter who was the previous guest called Gift. So Gift introduced me to that tuition. Yes. So I was able to join the tuition, which molded me morally upright and also education-wise. So I didn't know anything because I used to fail exams. So I started laying the foundation from scratch. Literally, I had to begin from Form 1 work, and that I joined the tuition when I was in Form 2. So I had limited time, but I had to do everything afresh. So the tuition helped me. The teachers that were there, with this limited time I had, I was able to cover much that I didn't know before. Yes.
Now, how was the experience? Because Nairobi being a big school, and still you were failing, for lack of a better term. What made you feel comfortable in a private setting, as you call it, private tutoring? What made you feel that this is a place that is going to bring back the glory in me and put me in that platform of cream student in Nairobi school?
So in Nairobi school, most public schools, you're not forced to learn. So you're not pushed around because, as they usually say, every man for himself, God for us all. So I used to relax until the day I joined the tuition. So I used to wake up early, go learn, which started to become a norm. Sometimes I'd be alone in tuition while other students didn't attend. Yeah, so it helped me push until where I am right now. Yes.
So did you imagine, or even in your wildest dream, see yourself getting to University of Nairobi?
No, it was not. I knew I wanted to do aviation first, but due to the peer influence that I had back in Form 1, it made me not to do the subjects I needed to do to achieve the aviation. So I dropped the subjects due to peer influence. So it didn't make me do the aviation that I needed to pursue.
So did you see yourself making to university?
Yes, I did. I had that positive aspect that I needed to.
Now, what really kept, because I really want to understand, a young student from Kabarak, top cream, getting to Nairobi, Form 1, failing. Yeah? What made you see that still, out of these low grades, I'm still going to make it to university?
The tuition that I attended. The teachers there, they were different from the teachers we had in school, because they were there for you. They were always ready to give you everything that you needed. They molded my character, which I didn't. I was really off. So I was able to cope up with the students that were also with me in tuition, because we were also taught the same thing, and I was able to become the person I am today. Yes.
Wow. So maybe again you can share a little bit much. How did you come out of those low mark, and how did it feel when the result came? Because I think that was, you didn't expect, or did you expect to perform and then get to university, or how did it feel, knowing where you had come from and now the results are out and now being in Nairobi, the University of Nairobi?
First of all, I did not expect to get that mark, because I knew of what I had, the progress I had before. But after joining the tuition, I was able to cope up with the studies that I got there. So though there were some hardships during the tuitions, like you had to wake up early, which mimi sikuwa nimezoea kuamka mapema, I was able to cope up. Sometimes it will rain, but with the bad weather, you still had to go to tuition. For me, that was for me, because sometimes I'd end up alone in tuition. Yes.
Wow. So what do you tell other young people like you, students struggling, who think that they're done?
I think there's still hope, because if you have the good study habits, like when you have proper timetable that will enable you to cope up and follow your timetable well, you'll be able to manage your time well, set your priorities right. Yeah.
Wow. So away from academics, who is Glenn?
Okay, for me, I do basketball and also play badminton as a hobby. I used to do it in high school, and I'm still doing it in the University of Nairobi. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And having mentioned the challenges you underwent, the peer pressure and all that, so how did you deal with those challenges so that the viewers or whoever is at the verge of giving up, they're able to see indeed there is a glimmer of hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel, rather.
So I know it is usually hard, but you have to cut friends at some point who are of negative influence into your life. So we were three. So one of the three of us was a really bad influence to us because we used to skip classes, truancy, we'd go have a negative attitude towards teachers. So after joining the tuition and the realization that you came to school alone and you're going to live alone, we had to part ways with each other. So I had to make that choice in order to better my future. Yeah.
So assuming you are not taken into tuition, because those are extra costs for a number of parents, and most of them are unable to afford. So are you trying to say that if you don't go to private tutoring, you're condemned, or what are you trying to say?
No, you're not condemned, because private tutoring is not a must, but it is essential. Because for me, it really helped me. It shaped my morals, and also I was able to come out from what I was before. Yes.
Looking at those grades in Form 1, and your parents had seen you get those high scores from Kabarak Primary School, how they feel? Did they give up on you? Maybe you can tell us the experience from your family, because I don't think, were they happy, getting those low marks from Nairobi School?
My parents were never happy about my marks. Even though they were not happy, they used to encourage me every time and again that I'd do better. That's why they introduced me to the tuition. And tuition is usually expensive, but they used to sacrifice a lot for me. They'd pay the tuition, they'd pay the fare from tuition to school, and still I was able to manage everything. Yes.
So in your new environment, the tuition, did you get any bad influence just like in your school? How did you navigate through the challenges, maybe the tuition center post?
In tuition, not everyone is the same, because there are always the people who are serious. So in tuition, obviously, there were some people who were not serious with tuition, but we used to encourage them, the teachers used to encourage them, and there were those people who turned down tuition because of the seriousness and everything. So yes, in tuition, school is like tuition, where you'd find various students with various behaviors, but you still have to cope up with them. You have to also stay with them and teach them the way. Yeah, so I was able to cope up despite the people who are there. Some people are good, others you'd stay after classes, you'd consult. Yeah, so the teachers never used to give up on those students. They'd still follow up on them and made sure they succeeded like the rest of the other students. Yes.
Wow. So basically, it was your drive, the support from the teachers, colleagues that really made the Glenn we are seeing.
Yes.
So what's the difference between the Glenn we are seeing right now and the Glenn in Form 1 back in high school?
I'd say the Glenn in Form 1 was lost. The Glenn was lost, but still there was still hope. The only thing that needed was to rekindle the light that was not there, that was faint. Yeah, so by me getting the realization that I'm not only competing with the students in school, but I'm competing against the world, I was able to know where I'm supposed to be headed, and everything.
Wow. So it's been a journey, and basically you didn't give up. Giving up was not your option.
No, giving up was never an option. Yes.
How did you deal? Because there was those point in life, I think you felt that I should give up. Maybe fear, because at times, how did you deal with fear and that urge or feeling of giving up?
in school, there were some people who used to demoralize you of your family background and everything. So it used to pull me down sometimes, but I used never to give up, because not giving up was not an option. So I used to push through. Sometimes I'd stay up late in school, working on what I was taught in school. Sometimes I'd consult teachers, which was really hard. Once in high school, some teachers were never there for you, because we are around 16 class, so everyone needs to consult. You didn't have that time. So the only time I had consultation was when I'm going back home, where I'll go do consultations in tuition. Yeah. So even waking up in the morning, sometimes you'd feel like you're tired, you don't want to go to tuition, but I had that drive that I had to achieve something. Yeah. So I used to wake up early. Sometimes I'd wake up at 6. By 6:30, I'm in tuition. Sometimes I'd be alone in tuition, waiting for other students. And also the teachers, they used to sacrifice themselves. I remember this one specific teacher who used to come the time I was coming, the 6:30 a.m. We used to do some studies at that time, which really helped me a lot. Yeah.
So what do you tell those students who feel that school is a punishment? Waking up to do the morning studies is a punishment. So what do you tell to those students, even who are the verge of giving up? Okay,
waking up early it's usually an issue to most students, but the thing is, it's not for a long time. It's only for a short time. Some students tend to think that, nikimaliza shule, I'll sleep, because for us, when we finished school, the sleep was never there. So waking up in the morning, it's a sacrifice, but you'll bear fruits afterwards. So you wake up, just do some content, read, because the results will be shown afterwards. Yes.
Wow. So to young students out there who are at the verge of giving up, the story of Glenn is just a reminder of self-drive, self-support, and family teachers posing the narrative of success being a collective responsibility, and being reminded that every time we wake up every morning, it is a chance, all of us, presented to us to write our story, Glenn's story, my story, all of us, the story that is going to be read one day. And it is hope and prayer that as young people, as students, let us not give up. Let us keep moving. And as somewhere read, our dreams are all valid. We can be able to change the narrative from being a failure, from those bad grades, to those better grades, and be able to proceed and get to do our dream careers, get to our dream universities, just like Glenn. So as we wind up, what do you want to share to viewers, listeners, young people like you out there?
Okay, I'd say, first of all, you have to put God first in everything you do. You have to pray, and you have to talk to God. Secondly, you have to believe in yourself. Don't have a low esteem. Like, you have to believe in yourself that you can achieve, and everything will be well. You have to have good study habits for the students. You have to set your priorities well, make a good study timetable, because for me, a timetable really helped me in managing my time. Yeah.
And maybe before we close, what do you encourage those parents out there who, when they look at the grades of their kids, because some of them are not really performing well, so what do you encourage? Because you had mentioned that you got the support from your family. So how do you want to encourage the parents out there who think that failure is defining their kids?
Okay, I'd say parents out there, most parents make sacrifices, and when students come home with bad grades, some parents tend to be violent, some disappointed, but that is not the end, because I believe in change and everyone can change. So when you make a sacrifice like how my parents did it, they were able to pay, they were able to make sacrifices, you are able to prosper. Yes.
Wow, that is great. Nice talk from Glenn. So, few things is that success is not a measure of what a man or a woman achieves, but the opposition he or she undergoes to attain greatness. And let us not give up on ourselves. Let us show up. Let us keep doing what we do, provided we're doing the right thing. At the end of the day, there is light at the tunnel. Until next time, in Faraja TV, we keep talking Knowledge Quest as we unfold the mysteries of the world and get to dig deeper, understanding matters pertaining experience, knowledge, skills, and many more.